Welcome back to Counterculture. I'm here with Pastor Mark, better known to all of you as Pulpit Spice. We were dealing this morning with a very important topic. We were just talking about, again, I wish you all could be sitting in here with us. We were dealing with the very important question of what would Pulpit Spice taste like if it was a jelly bean? Lots of
and here was the conclusion.
That's right. This is
too sweet for anybody to eat.
Look at that. He was talking about putting his finger in your coffee to sweeten it up, but
Yes.
you wouldn't be able to drink it.
You wouldn't be able to drink it. It'd be too sweet if I did that. So I don't do that.
So listen, I just need one.
Listen, here's the deal.
One brave soul to know what the deal is, right? The deal is this, right? As you're listening to this, we want you to please write down what you think Pulpit Spice jelly bean would taste like. That's what we need. So listen, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna say this.
It would taste like garlic. It would taste like coffee.
No, you can't give them hints. So
Okay,
so
scratch
listen.
that. The jury will disregard that last statement.
That's right. So what's going to happen is this. We're going to look at all the entries. Hopefully there's at least one. The winning entry will win a brand new, hot off the presses ETC shirt. Jason Woods Ministry, and we're supporting it. It's going to be great. So you're going to actually get something for this. Pastor Mark, better known as Pulpit Spice.
Of the
He
Spice
will
Boys.
decide. He will decide. And then we're going to send that in to the Jelly Bean Company, and we're going to see if they'll make one for us.
Right. And for the record, I have never heard the Spice Girls and don't care to. So
No, but I'm guessing. I'm guessing the Jelly Bean Company.
they're gonna
go on.
They're gonna go. I'm gonna be
Pulpit Spice.
famous.
That's exactly right.
I will be famous.
That is true. Listen, that's a great.
Does my sweater look spice like Pulpit Spice?
Your sweater does look a little Pulpit Spicy. But you know
All
what?
right.
You know what? The
Enough
problem
of
is,
this nonsense.
The problem is your underneath shirt looks a little eggplantish.
It could.
Right?
It
Pulpit Spice.
It's actually burgundy. It's not. Like,
I love wearing that color. I
like
wear it all the
purple.
time.
It is
Yeah.
my color. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
All right, come on. Enough of this
Segue.
nonsense.
Jesus was famous.
He was.
He said a lot of
is famous.
He was in his
Was
time.
and is
He
and
is today.
will be.
He will be. He'll even be more famous.
Right.
Right?
Right.
There's a great song, the famous one. It's really good. We should probably play it
Yes,
now.
that's a good song. I like that song.
Jesus said lots of things.
Right.
Right? He said all kinds of things that dumbfounded people.
He said, "Listen, here's the deal.
That's exactly right. He's constantly saying to his disciple, listen.
Verily, verily."
That's why I quote it, which is
Right.
translated fruddish, listen.
Fruddish.
Right. So he said lots of things. There's lots of things that I am befuddled with, lots of things that we cling to, lots of things that we wish he hadn't said, lots of things we wish he had said. At the end of his life, he said a few things, right? And then before his resurrection, right? So we look at that and we always say that what people say right before they die is really important. These are the things that we should kind of key in on. They're remembering stuff. They're going through things. So I want to look at this with you. Luke chapter 23, verse 32, right? It says there were two others who were criminals were led away to be put to death with him. And when they came to the place that is called the skull, right? They crucified him and the criminals, one on his right, one on his left. Jesus said this, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. I am dumbfounded by that statement. Got chills right now and goosebumps from just reading that statement. Out of all the things that Jesus could have said, he said that. And I look at our culture today, I look at my life today, and I wish that this could be the last thing I say to people who treat me poorly and things that I'm looking at. Like, listen, people just don't know what the deal is. They don't know that the deal is they need forgiveness, right? But somehow Jesus is looking at the people who crucified him and saying, Father, forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. So when you read that, when you listen to that, first of all, what strikes you with that statement?
A tremendous amount of love and grace.
Amen.
He's in pain, excruciating pain that we can't even imagine.
Right.
And, you know, if he was Irish, he would have hollered out, Egypt, he would have said, but he doesn't. Mm-hmm. He says, forgive him.
Yeah.
And so, can we do the same in our pain? Which is not as excruciating, but our pain is our pain. Mm-hmm. Can we? I have. Mm-hmm. Do I always get? Sometimes I get there quicker than others. Mm-hmm. Quick forgiveness is cheap forgiveness, by the way. But to get there is a great thing. It just takes. It can take a little while. We have to grieve our pain. We don't always do that. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, there's a lot there really to unpack. There's giving people the benefit of the doubt. Mm-mm. See, because we can go to the thing where I know they did this to hurt me.
See, I was just gonna say.
No, sometimes we're just stupid.
We tend to look at situations
or ignorant,
and I tend to go through the drive-through, right? And I tend to think that on purpose they left my ketchup off of my hamburger.
Yeah,
I mean, like they knew it was me.
If that was the only violation we've had done to us.
They knew. They saw the order. They knew it was me, and they purposefully left the ketchup. Yeah. And I react accordingly.
Yeah.
To that.
Yeah.
I think I think it's super important that we're walking around thinking that everybody is thinking about us.
Yeah.
The truth isn't that way, is it?
No. Because you know what? You know how I know they're not thinking about us? Because they're thinking about themselves, which is why probably they don't know what they're doing, because they're thinking about themselves. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about myself. When I hurt someone, it's usually because I'm so into myself that I'm not thinking about someone else.
Yeah, and I think that's such a great, we're talking about this around Thanksgiving, right? And having a thankful heart, having a thankful attitude, having thankful actions that go with it. Tend to focus around the fact that, listen, I'm beginning to see people for who they really are, situations for what's really happening, right? So I can be thankful for that. So when we look at this and we look at our culture, there are lots of things to hold people accountable, lots of things to get mad about, lots of things to destroy people over, right? How do we practically take a step back and give people the grace and mercy that you just said Jesus gave?
Well, because he does it for us. Mm-hmm. Right, I mean, right there. The fact that, and I think there's two things come to mind. One, he does it. Mm-hmm. So when I can get mad at someone and start judging them, judging their motives, which I don't know. Mm-hmm. Now, if we hang out with a person long enough and we see some patterns, we can kind of figure out, these people really don't care about this other group of people, and I'm not going to go there. But the other thing is not just that we see this is what Jesus did, mm-hmm. and we are to become Christ-like, more and more Christ-like. But when we also stop to realize, would I want them to be gracious with me?
Ooh, treat others the way that we want to be treated.
Yeah. Wow. That I hope someone would say that I know you didn't mean this. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you weren't thinking that. And until I can explore it and go talk to it. Now, here's a thought. Go talk to that person.
Imagine that.
And say, you when you said that, I don't want to misinterpret what you said. What did you mean by that?
Yeah. Giving people, I love what you're saying, right? Yesterday, I walked into a Tim Hortons. My impression of Tim Hortons is now ranking up there with toll booth workers that I had for a long time, right? But walked in to Tim Hortons and said, "This is a joyless place," right?
You said to them? You told them it was
no.
Oh.
No, I know, because I
you said
that
listen.
kind, right?
You said listen. This is a joyless place.
You all need some joy, right? But we walked in and there were 3 employees that you could see. I don't know if there were more of that. And it really looked like right straight out of The Walking Dead, right? I mean, these people were joyless, and they didn't greet you with a, like a typical, like, hey, how can I help you? All of these.
They
kind
look
of
like
things,
some
right?
churches on Sunday morning.
Wasn't going to judge, but yeah, right. So we look at that though, and
It's
it's
not a
funny.
judgment; it's an assessment.
Immediately, what's my reaction is how they're treating me, right? Like, this isn't what I expect walking into Tim Hortons. You're not making this a fun experience. My thought process wasn't maybe right before I got in there, these people got yelled at. Maybe they just got in trouble. Maybe it's their last day of work. Maybe somebody said last night when I was talking about it, maybe they're overtired and overworked, right? Maybe I should have worked harder at bringing the joy into them, rather than wanting them to give me joy, right? Because I'm walking into their place. But it got me thinking about this, that, man, Jesus looked at the situation. I love what you said at the beginning. Unbelievable pain, more agony than I'll ever know in that
Then
moment.
ketchup missing from your hamburger.
That's exactly right? But he looked at the people and just said, Father, forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. What if I walked around with that type of an attitude? No, that guy didn't purposefully cut me off. That purposely didn't do that. They don't know what they're doing. And as a pastor, what if I walked into my Sunday mornings and went, I could take that the wrong way, or I could take it as they don't have a clue what they're doing.
Well, and I think there's several things you said that just got me thinking. I'll try and touch on at least a few. One of them is sometimes we let other people affect our attitude. So you walk in there and you see that they look like they've been baptized in vinegar.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, how much power do we give away to other people? Okay, so now all of a sudden, we're letting them have power over us to affect our mood because they look like they're having a bad day.
Yeah.
So that's something that we need to think about when we come into a room is we read people and we try to figure out what kind of mood they're in, whatever. And sometimes I worked for an organization one time that we did trainings that the volunteers, their instructions were to have a flat affect. But almost all the trainees coming in, because they're high anxiety, would always think that these assistants were angry.
Yeah.
They weren't angry.
Nope.
But because they weren't smiling and laughing and carrying on, they must be angry. It's either or. And it was just a matter of, no, we're trying to remain neutral here so that you can have your experience and not pick up on us. So, then your next comment was, well, should I try to cheer them up? Why do you think you need to? Would be my first question. It's not my job to cheer them up. I mean, if they want me to, I can, because I am the funniest person I know. Listen.
That's right.
Here's the deal. I'm the funniest person I know. We're Andy's line is listen. Mine is here's the deal. So we're combining them today. So sometimes I think and do we go in with this, we make contracts with people. You talked about, did the guy cut me off? We drive, we have all these contracts we make with people that I come in here to Tim Hortons and they're going to be happy and cheerful.
Yeah.
But the problem is they didn't realize that they had a contract with me that they didn't sign. What? Saying they're here to make me feel happy. Now, if their boss says then that's it. They got a contract with him, but their job is to get me coffee or whatever, an apple fritter or whatever.
That's what I had.
I know, but Farm Fresh is better. I'm just saying. Anyway, so that affects us sometimes with this whole thing. But Jesus, we are to strive to be Christ-like, but we are not Christ. Christ had the advantage on us that he could see it. Me on that cross, I've been saying, these guys mean this for everything. They know exactly what they're doing. And I want to say, Jesus, they hung you on that cross because they knew exactly what they're doing. But this is where he goes a little bit deeper. He goes, but they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because he knows what's in their hearts. We don't know what's in their hearts.
When they actually thought they were protecting God.
Yes, exactly.
It's amazing to me.
Yeah.
All right, listen.
But it is a great example to us that when we can step back, because what could he do? He's hanging on the cross. He has time to think up there in the midst of the pain. That we need to say in the midst of our pain, wait a minute here. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. And if you find out they do know what they're doing, then you go smite them in the name of Jesus. No, I'm just joking on that. Do not do that.
Coming straight from Pulpit Spice, right?
Pulpit Spice. That is my no.
Give them a Pulpit Spice jelly.
Pulpit Spice giving advice. Okay, so yeah, we should hopefully come to this. This is what we should aspire is to say, God, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And which should also help us to have more and more grace for them.
That's right.
But it does not mean that we always reset. Sometimes we can reset, but there's times we have to say, wait a minute here. Now you keep doing the same thing you've been doing to me. Now, you're not learning.
Now
You're
we're
not
going to a
learning
totally
from grace.
different thing.
We're going to show you grace in a different way. All right.
Speak softly. Carry a very large Bible. Here we go.
And pulpit spice.
Counterculture. Listen, we're super thankful that you joined us.
Have you
today.
noticed? Here's a quiz. Here's a quiz. There's no prize. What is different about today's broadcast?
Ooh.
What is different about today's show that is different from all the others? And we put in a thing there, a little fun
There you go.
quiz today.
Maybe we should start a quiz moment every single counterculture. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Send it. All right.
We'll see you next counterculture.